Tears, rival tears is all we have been drinking for the last 24 hours. I'm sure Daryl's been drinking the same thing. I said 24 hours, a little bit less, about 22 hours, about 22 hours. So rival tears, that's all we've been drinking for the last day or so. And it couldn't taste any sweeter. I can't tell you anything more than that, if I'm honest, because another 5 games in, 5 matches, 5 late winners. And I don't know if I could take it anymore, Daryl. I don't know if I could take it anymore. It's been another roller coaster game last night. Another 2-0 up, another 2-2, down and out, and Virgil van Dijk comes up with an absolute built header in the last minute again. How are you after 24 hours later? How are you feeling?
I'm still just stressful. It's only so early in the season. I remember obviously last season, during the season, you get stressed during the title race, but it's only just started and you're just feeling stressed after 5 games. It's just, it's a roll. You know, with Liverpool, it's always a roller coaster. So
it's going to be a long season. It's going to be a long season. This is 5 games. And that game last night, I mean, that was the second watch long of the season. Our first watch long was the Newcastle one, and it was very, very similar. Very similar indeed. First half, first 20, 25 minutes, Liverpool absolutely battled Atletico Madrid off the park. That's the best half I've seen him play. That's best, certainly 30 minutes I've seen him play this season. Salah was back to his best. Wirtz were very, very good. Szoboszlai and Gravenberch were the best 2 players on the pitch. You know, not many put a foot wrong at all in that first half. But the second half, then we allowed Atletico Madrid to get some control of the game, allowed them back in it, give them 1 goal back before half time, and that was it. We took the foot off the gas, way off the gas. Madrid came back in, and then just like the Newcastle game again, that second goal from Atletico Madrid sort of woke us up a little bit. Shouldn't need to, but it did. And brilliant cross from Szoboszlai from the corner. Van Dijk, captain, leader. That's what you do in moments like that. Did you think it was like a game too far here? Going back to 2-2, you think, oh, that's it now. We can't have another late winner. There's not a chance.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think but I don't want to use all our luck now. We want to save some for later on in the season. We don't want them, it's a bit early to hit in last minute winners so often. What worries me is the 3rd time now we've dropped a 2-goal lead in first 5 or 6 matches. That's very worrying.
Well, it's not four, including Palace.
Well, Atletico Bilbao, I think, wasn't it?
Madrid, Newcastle, Bournemouth, and then Palace.
Oh, sorry, yeah. That's not good. That's not sustainable to keep on getting these late winners. It's just, It's obviously I'm happy to win the game, but it's still worrying.
Is it a sign of champions, or is it luck, or is it a bit of both? Do you think?
I think it's a bit of both, but I wouldn't want to use up all our luck now. There'll be later on in the season. We've got, if you realise, we're playing a lot of our big games at home earlier on in the season. The Arsenal, the Everton, Newcastle. No, Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah, well,
no, it was away. Yeah,
it was away. But if you look for our fixtures, we've got a lot of the big games away next season, next year.
Yeah.
So we want to save a bit of luck for those ones, I'm hoping. But a bit of both. Sign of champions, that winning mentality is there. It shows that, as Slot said, they're very fit. They can keep pushing. So on that side of it, it's a plus that they know they can go again. They've got enough. I think a lot of these games we played through in 3rd gear. But if you remember last season, when it was 2-0, we shut up shop and that was the end of the game. It's not like that this season at all. We're struggling to just close the games out.
Adam said their goal should not have stood. That cancelled. Then the win would be more comfortable. I don't know. It wasn't goal. Shouldn't have been stood. I think he was direct line of the keeper. I think Alisson would have dived anyway. I don't think he'd have got it anyway, if I'm honest. But that's not the rule. The rule is the fact that he's in the line side of the keeper, which for me is offside. However, I do think I think even if they didn't get that goal, I still think they come back. Just the way we took our foot off the gas massively, and I don't think we were comfortable last night. We again allowed Madrid to come back in it. That's exactly what happened. It's same as the Newcastle game, same as the Bournemouth game. We should have not shut up shop, but we should have shut the game down by getting another goal. Go get that 3rd goal. But we took our foot off the pedal. And when you do that in the top elite Champions League, Premier League, you do that in elite football, you take your foot off the pedal and you get burnt. You get punished for it because these teams are good teams. And Atletico Madrid set up perfectly in the second half. I thought bringing Koke on was a big point. I said that when we were on the watch long, I said he's going to get control of the game. Madrid got control of the game then when Koke came on and looked like the better team than the second half. And it was only until it went 2-2, Liverpool thought, you know what, we need to step up here. And I feel like Slot made a couple of changes that he had to make the changes because obviously Frimpong is not fully fit and things like that. But I think the change of pulling Gravenberch a bit further back didn't help us because when Szoboszlai was covering that DM position, Gravenberch having the game of his life as an 8. He was going forward into the box, and Szoboszlai did a fantastic job at that DM position, by the way. Fantastic job. Gravenberch, and then in the second half, we noticed, me and Patricia noticed live on the watch along, that Gravenberch dropped back into that DM position again. And that's when we started to not be as good going forward. And I think that's to do with a few tactical changes. We did get a bit tired. At the end of the day, we've got to face teams like Atletico Madrid. We've got to keep going in these games and try to keep as attentive as much as we can. Yes, Atletico Madrid are going to have spells. They're going to absolutely have spells. They're too good of a team not to have spells. But it's up to us to get back to that intensity again. Because in the second half, we never showed that same intensity again at all for that first 30 minutes. Do you think it's down to tiredness, or do you think it is down to tactics, Daryl?
I think it's down to tactics to a point. I think when we went 2-0 up, I think he's thinking, right, let's just try and close the game down like we did last season. Conserve energy. This is the beginning of the season. We've got a lot of games to go, and I think we kind of got a bit complacent. I think that's happened. Thing is, we're going to face a lot. Atletico Madrid are a good team, but they're not a top tier team. We're going to play a lot bigger teams than that. Not bigger, but better playing teams. They haven't started the season well either. So if they can get at us, we just need to. I think we just got to get complacent in these games.
I think certain Premier League games could probably get away with it. Also, we've done it against Bournemouth, done it against Newcastle, and they're probably some of the two of the best top 10 in the league. But with Atletico Madrid, it's not going to get any easier in the Champions League. We're going to come up against a Real Madrid. We're going to, at some point, maybe come up against a PSG, a Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
And you can't do that against Bayern Munich or PSG or Real Madrid or Barcelona or anyone like that. If we want to win the Champions League, we're going to have to come up against at least 2 of them. Even in the knockout stages, at least 2 or 3 of them. So it is very, very. I'm very, very confident about my team. I've said sign of champions. This is what champions do. We'd never give in. Our mentality monsters is back, and that's one thing that I think Slott's brought back. Ever since he joined Liverpool last year, he's brought that mentality back.
Yeah,
and that's what we need to win leagues, to win championships, to win Champions Leagues. That mentality is absolutely key, and Slott's certainly brought that back. But I think this year, like you said, I think there's been a mixture of luck, a bit of that, and a bit of this is what champions do. I'd say the most luck came probably at the weekend against Burnley, because that wasn't luck that was made by ourselves. That was luck just simply Hannibal putting his hand up. I think last night we sort of made our luck a little bit ourselves because, like I said, when we went 2-2, we stepped up a little bit again. And that's where our luck came from. It was a very good goal, very good corner, very good header by Van Dijk. Van Dijk, though, Daryl, Van Dijk. There's been a lot of talk today about Van Dijk. You know, Carragher said something about Van Dijk being, you know, one of the best Liverpool legends. It's not even a debate for me being a Liverpool legend. Where do you now sit him though in terms of like greats of all time centre backs?
Premier League or world? We're talking.
Just go for all time, mate. Go for all time. I know it's some good centre backs, and also for me, Maldini is probably the top one.
See, I always have a problem with Maldini because was Maldini was he a centre back though? He was a left back most of his career. If you see how many games he played as centre back, it's more at left back. He is one of the greats, no doubt. But I don't know with Maldini. I've always have a little bit of a.
I'd have Nesta up there as well.
I'd have Nesta. Nesta is one of my favourite defenders of all time, of my era. Solid. Van Dijk's got to be in the top. I'd put him in the top 3 ever in my eyes. Top 3.
I just think I've never seen a defender more complete.
Yeah.
Than Van Dijk. He's got literally everything you want as a defender, as a centre back. And people say, "Oh well, it's a modern game, this and that," but that's not fair on Van Dijk. Put Van Dijk back into the game, you know, when John Terry was around, Rio Ferdinand was around, Ramos was around. It's slot in.
You would.
It's absolutely slot in. And people say, "Oh well, he makes mistakes," but Rio Ferdinand made mistakes quite constantly. I bet people forget about this. Certain Man United fans forget about this. And the amount of times Vidic saved his ass, but it's still one of the greatest defenders ever. But Virgil, for me, honestly, I've never seen a defender like him. Him and Van Dijk last night had a very good game. I know we conceded 2 goals, but I thought especially first half, but him and Konate had a very good game.
They played well.
The first goal conceded, I think Konate could have blocked it, but you know, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like, oh my, why is he not blocking that? It was like it just didn't stick his foot out quick enough. The second goal, I think, could have been shutting down a bit quicker, But other than that, I thought Virgil and Konate last night solid.
So, but going back to that Virgil van Dijk, Rio Ferdinand argument, Rio Ferdinand didn't have half the leadership qualities as Van Dijk has. He was never captain of Manchester United either.
Was it? No, it went to Rooney, didn't it? After Neville went.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. He was never captain, so he hasn't got that leadership qualities as Van Dijk. Nowhere near. And he was playing at the time. He was sorry.
All the goal for it. I know he's got a late goal against us, but that's not a goal for it. Van Dijk's got a goal for it. A bit like John Terry used to have.
I don't remember Rio Ferdinand scoring that many through his career. Van Dijk scored some big ones. He's called that goal against Chelsea. Van Dijk scored some big goals for us.
Yeah. Well, Van Dijk's debut, Everton won it in Cup.
That's right. Yeah, straight away. That's right.
But yeah, I still remember that Rio Ferdinand goal against us. You know, when he poked it top corner last minute.
Don't remind me.
I don't know if that was at Anfield. You know, was that at Anfield or was that at Old Trafford? I don't remember, but it was in that period where they used to get the last minute winners against us all the time. Solskjaer got winner against us. We got Farland got a winner against us, a late one. Was it John O'Shea get a late one against us and all?
Don't remind me.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. But yeah, but now it's Liverpool's turn, and I used to watch Man United in absolute envy back in the 90s, back in 2000. My uncle's a Man United fan. My uncle being a Man United fan is, you know, my hatred for Man United because of through him and friends I've grown up around. Also, being a Liverpool fan, you sort of embedded to hate Man United anyway.
Yeah.
But it just tripled it 10 times it because of what I have to go through with my uncle and my friends. But I used to watch Man United get late winners after late winners. I thought, you know what I'm saying?
But they used to always do it. It was a constant thing all the time.
It was annoying. It was annoying. And that now, what I'm feeling now, it's like it's completely. I don't know. 1 second. Let me get this off. 1 second. I've just realised I've kept it all on. You know the team for last night,
yeah.
still going on the bottom. I'll get rid of that 1 second. There we go. Give me 2 seconds, guys. So yeah, that feeling of that hatred towards Man United. I know for a fact every other club's feeling that against us right
now.
I know they are. I know they're absolutely envious now of what we're doing. And yeah, we can be lucky, and it's okay to be lucky. I don't think we was as lucky last night. I thought we were unlucky not to, obviously the goal shouldn't have been a goal for Atletico Madrid. I've seen people say last night we should have got a penalty. We shouldn't have got a penalty. That was not a penalty. I thought it was right to yeah, I did and all. I did it. I haven't watched long as well, but just that last minute winners, I can feel the hatred towards Liverpool from the rival. I can feel it online. I can feel it on posts and tweets I've seen. I can feel it in reactions I've seen. Obviously, Gobich. I don't know if you've seen Said's reaction. He's dying inside. You could tell how much it hurts, and that's how we used to feel. I know.
You suffered it for years.
It was awful. And when you think, "Oh, man, I'm going to drop points here," yes, rubbing your hands sort of thing, like, and then they come up with it. And it used to be like Fergie time. Fergie time didn't come out from nothing. They used to get additional time that wasn't even there.
I remember those days.
Our time, at least the additional time that we get is actually legit additional time. They used to have a 3-minute stoppage and you used to get 7 minutes added on. That's what Man United used to do, and that's where Fergie time came around because it was so true. I'm just going to go through this with red goals here. Atletico had a lot of starters missing, so they were there for the taking. However, we clearly took our foot off the gas until the equaliser. We must have several other gears to go up, and is that a scary thing for the rest of the league, Darryl? Because we haven't played well yet, really.
It certainly is.
Last night, first half an hour, exceptional. If we can continue that a bit longer.
The first half now, we were outstanding, playing some really good football. First, there were a lot plus points to take from last night. Salah looked rejuvenated. He looked like Salah that we know. Verts, that's the best game he's had for us. He looked really good, little link up with Isak a couple of times. Obviously, Isak started. Yeah, they should be worried, everyone, because that's how we're playing. And we played all right in the first half. But as a whole, for the start of the season, in my eyes, we've been quite average. So when we step it up, and we've got 9 points. Sorry, we've got 12 points on the board. So, yeah, if we can get the defence sorted. We have to remember we're slaying the defence, but they'd had 2 clean sheets, one against Arsenal and one against Burnley, back to back. I know they conceded last night, but that's 2 clean sheets. So we can get that department sorted out then. yeah, they should be worried. It's like scoring goals.
Yeah. I thought they had a good game regardless last night. The 2 goals, there was a deflection the first goal. The first goal was like a toe prod. I think might have been blocked if it could have been, but the second goal was a deflection. Maybe she could have shut down a bit quicker, but it was nothing concerning last night. I think I'm more concerned in the Bournemouth and the Newcastle games how easy the goals were.
Yeah.
Especially the Bournemouth one when Semenya just literally ran through like a knife through button. No one was following his running out, just watching him do it. The concern there, said Adam, says would be if we are losing, but we are winning. Which is good, Adam, which is very, very good. The fact that we can bring up concerns, we can bring up worries, but we're still winning. That's perfect. It's good to talk about concerns when we're winning. I'd rather us talk about concerns when we're winning than talk about how good we've been and we're losing. Reese, have you recovered? How much rival tears have you been drinking for the last 24 hours?
What do you mean in terms of like just the
crying I've seen?
Oh. That don't really bother me. For me, if anything, that kind of like fuels me. That motivates me, you know, when rivals are not sleeping peacefully, they're stressed. I mean, they're going through anxiety, they don't know how they're dealing with their day-to-day. How are Liverpool doing? This is great because, you know what I mean? Obviously, I know in terms of the game, I think in terms of the game, we played quite well. We created a lot of chances. I think that's one of our best performances. The only frustrating thing is we kind of just made hard work of the game. Obviously, if you don't take your chances at the highest level, you do get punished. And obviously, we was able to get out of jail. The most important thing is the 3 points. And it's nice that we're winning ugly because obviously once it clicks, then I think kind of the rest of the league and even most other competitions kind of need to be on their toes. What I did notice as well, though, is I think we looked more balanced yesterday. I think, especially in midfield. I think with Szoboszlai in midfield, I know not everyone's his biggest fan, but I've always been screaming this from when he got signed that he has to be in midfield, even though he's done a stellar job at right back when we've needed him to. I think what he offers, like I said, especially off the ball, even though I know a lot of people, if you're like someone who likes technical players, because I like technical players in the eye test as well, but people don't really want to hear about what you offer off the ball. But what he offers off the ball is no one else in our midfield is really offering that. Gravenberch does to a degree, but I still would like him to still come into his own when it comes to using his physical frame. I don't think he uses it as enough to bully other players as he does. He more kind of relies on his athleticism and his kind of his skill set on the ball, being a Dutch player. But I think Szoboszlai in that midfield kind of showed me, which I already knew, that he kind of has to be in that midfield. It's just what people might not like is that it will be probably him and Gravenberch, and for me, and then in the 10, it's your choice of Wirtz or McAllister. But I don't think you can have Wirtz and McAllister for me in the same, because they're quite similar in what they do. And then obviously in terms of what you're getting in terms of defensively, you're kind of losing that because they're both not really going to offer that. I know McAllister's tenacious and works hard and puts a foot in, but that's not really his game for me. He's more likely to get injured. So going forward, I think, like I said, it's a Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, and it's a case of whether you play Wirtz or you play McAllister. Obviously, at this moment in time, I'll play Wirtz because McAllister is still very rusty.
I think McAllister's better than 10 anyway. I think he's better than 10 anyway.
Last season, the reason why it was so balanced was because even though Szoboszlai started as the 10, he was dropping deeper last season, and McAllister was the one going ahead. That's why he was able to get certain goals and that freedom, which is why we were screaming anyway. Why didn't he just make the switch and just put McAllister in the 10 and Szoboszlai in the 8? But yeah, going for now, I would still have Wirtz. I think Wirtz even played quite well. A couple pieces of link-up play with Isak. Isak done quite well, considering Slot said that he's not fit or he couldn't even have any minutes at Burnley. For me, when you've got a player of that caliber, I'm giving him some sort of minutes, even if it's 5 minutes, because he's the type of player that can do something within those 5 minutes. So, but yeah, I'm just happy Liverpool's winning, to be fair. And like I said, I was very impressed with how we played yesterday. It was just a little frustrating. It reminded me when we were playing on the clock, when we had a great team as well with the Mane, Salahs and Bobby, that not putting our chances away, because there was great build-up play, great link up, great movement. A lot of the time, it was just the end product at times. It was like, how do we not score there kind of thing. It's kind of like we were trying to walk the ball into the net.
The first half, especially the first half an hour, 35 minutes, that midfield needs to stay like that.
Yeah.
And what I mean by this, I've just spoken to Daryl before you came on. I said in the second half, we swapped it around a little bit. I think Gravenberch became more the deeper person. But if you watch the game last night, the first half an hour, the first half, certainly, Szoboszlai was the deeper one out of the two, him and Gravenberch. And Gravenberch was able to do the forward runs into the box like I used to do at Ajax.
Mm.
And that is the best Gravenberch. I've been saying for a long, long time. You know I've been saying this for a long, long time, Reece.
Yeah.
Gravenberch needs to be an 8. He needs to be driving those balls. Both opening goals came from Gravenberch.
Yeah.
His drive runs. His drive run got the free kick. His drive run with a 1-2 with Salah got Salah's goal.
Yeah.
He needs to be doing that more often. And when he plays DM, he's been fantastic as a DM. He's that intelligent of a footballer and that all-rounder footballer. He can easily slot into DM.
Yeah.
Same like Szoboszlai, he can slot right back because it's just such a brilliant footballer.
Yeah, I'm happy for that as long as how I see it is if he goes forward, someone slots it in to cover his position, sort of thing. You know, it's not.
And I thought Szoboszlai did a brilliant job last night.
Yeah, and I just
did. Yeah.
I just think long term though. I think until Liverpool are able to get another 6, you won't see Gravenberch starting as an 8 until they're able to get someone else because of how well he's doing in that role. I just don't. I
hope Szoboszlai is next to him now, because if Szoboszlai stays next to him instead of Maka, just the work rate that Szoboszlai has and the way they played last night, I think we're going to get the best out of Gravenberch.
So would that be your starting 2 then? You'd leave McAllister out
for the time being, yeah. Even in general, for me in the 10, it's either Wirtz or McAllister. That's what they should be balanced out for. Because I just think the balance is not right with McAllister and Wirtz. When you got McAllister in the 8, obviously I got to see what it looks like when McAllister's fully fit in the 8 because he does look very rusty. Obviously, he's not fully fit. Just had a child as well not too long ago, so I'm not even sure if it's necessarily fully focused. He's trying to get back to match fitness, but it just don't look right. Whereas yesterday the midfield was more controlled. See how we kind of dominated that game. Yeah, you could see how we dominated that game because really we battered Atletico. The fact they were able to come back was very frustrating because it's like they don't really deserve this. They hung on in there, but it's because we didn't pass chances away. You know,
I think they started to get more confident with I think about 10 minutes left in the first half. Exactly, they're getting a bit more confident. And I said it on the watch long as well. I said they're getting into the game here. So they're not getting clear chances, but they're getting into the game. They're getting more on the ball. And then when they got the goal before half time, I thought, it's actually game on now. And I said literally on the watch long, I said they're going to equalise. They're going to equalise. You could tell they're going to equalise. Second half, they dominated the game. Second half, they weren't dominant as in we were in the first half, but they dominated the ball. They were the better team in the second half. And then when they got the equaliser, I just thought it was absolutely coming. It was easy to see it was coming. But again, the bounce back from Liverpool is exactly what we need. Red Gold says here, the question is, what does Slot want from an ideal 6 point of view? That's the question, isn't it? If he does want a 6, what kind of 6 does he want? So Zubimendi was the one that you're looking at, and the Zubimendi type is like a Stiller potentially. But for me and Darryl were speaking about this, Darryl the other day about Wharton and Belabor. Them two, any of those two in this system right now gets the best out of Gravenberch.
Yeah, he'll flourish around him, having that defensive presence behind him, definitely.
What do you think, Reece?
No, 100%. But I have a crazy theory. I'm not gonna rule it out completely, but I know we're looking at it's one or the other. Why don't we get both? Obviously, I'm not saying it in January, but one in January, one in the summer. I'll be trying to look at both, just based off how we moved last summer. I know we're not going to move like that every summer, but I do think in terms of it's still going to be only from now on high quality signings coming in. So
the only way we get both, mate. I think the only way we get both is if you sell a Maka.
Well, someone may have to go. Someone said that in the chat there. They said,
Maka might leave.
Yeah, maybe, but obviously, hopefully not. Because for me, like I said, I'm trying to do the Liverpool Galacticos. That's what I'm trying to do over here. Whereas you got quality all around, like for like. But we'll see, because if we're being linked, obviously saying we're being linked with Belay before January, why is it January all of a sudden now when the Adam Wharton was for the summer? So and
I'd take either, to be honest. I'd take either.
I would, but I'm not saying who's to say the position we're in now that you don't get both.
Who would be your first choice, Reese? Belieber or Wharton?
In the 6?
Yeah.
Depends on who we're playing for me. If we're playing a team where it's more...
If you're slotting, you only had one to pick from.
If you had to sign one of them, which one would you pick?
Oh, who would I pick?
Yeah.
I rate both of them, but I would pick Belieber. I think we need someone more physical, more rugged.
Yeah, I agree.
I rate Wharton highly. I think he's a talented player, and I know he can get stuck in as well, but I just think we're a little soft when in the midfield compared to when we had the team, when we have Fabinho. Obviously, he's kind of an anomaly because he could go forward and he could defensively. But I just want someone who's a bit more aggressive, who's a bit more... You see, kind of like how Endo is, but on a higher level. Someone who's just going to break up the play, who's going to sit in front of the defense, who enjoys that kind of play. And then obviously the thing is with Belabor as well is he's underrated going forward. I think a lot of people don't realize that he's actually good going forward as well, but he just looks like he enjoys the rough, the rough and tumble, that kind of side. I want someone who's a bit nasty in there. He's going to go through someone and he's kind of smiling like about it. Fabinho was like that. He would kind of go.
Billy Jones.
Someone like see how a bit like how Roy Keane was, even Roger. When you watch sometimes the great DMs, it's like they kind of have all of it, but then they'll go through someone or they'll take the ball off someone, but they enjoy that kind of thing. It's not like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's like that was my every intention. Like kind of, we need that a bit. I just think because there's
know it'd been perfect, mate. You know it'd be perfect. Caicedo.
He would have, but I don't want to keep talking about him because that's done now, man. And
now let's not talk about
that. Is
Ivan Gravenberch as a midfield.
If we had done our homework properly and we didn't come in for him last minute and we actually done it properly, we would have got him. So I know it looks like we came in for him, like, and we tried, but it's like we didn't do the due diligence like how Chelsea did. That's why his mind was already made up. I know agents be hungry for money and stuff as well, but he kind of already had a commitment. If we done it properly, then yeah. But I do think, I think Belavor's got the potential long term to be better than Caicedo.
I said that before as well. I think the same thing. Yeah, I think long term he's got more
as a player, and I think Caicedo's an elite player. I just think Belavor's ceiling, he's got the potential to have a higher ceiling for me. But that's who I'll take right now. I think we need someone like that, and I think Slot was more going with Adam Wharton, but for us to potentially be linked with Belay, he might think, he might have seen something and maybe think, we need a bit more aggression in the midfield, a bit more ruthless. That's the only thing missing, and then another centre back, obviously, and then for me it's kind of all set because attack I don't really have no problems. I would like Rio to get more game time, because I'm not really impressed with Gakpo's form at the minute. I know Rio's only 17, but I don't care about all that. I've always been someone that it's not about your age. If you're talented enough, you're playing. That's how I say it. And I think in the game now, there's a lack of that. There's too much of this. He's not ready. We got to manage him. I'm not saying he has to play every game, but I think a lot of the time when Slot's bringing him on, he should be coming on earlier in some of these games. 60 minutes, 70 minutes, not 80 minutes. You're giving him 10 minutes. Like you can see he's got something there. When he gets the ball, something can happen because it's the take-ons for me. Whereas Gakpo don't really do the taking on too much. He's always cutting in. And I just think that'll kind of make I'll make Gakpo kind of rethink things a bit.
Yeah.
If he's getting subbed earlier or all of a sudden Rio's starting, he might think, right, I need to be kind of adding a bit more variety. Because obviously
he's become a bit predictable, and
but you get predictable when you're not getting challenged. And this is the problem we had when we were on the clock. A lot of the favourites weren't getting challenged. So they would have certain performances where it's like, I know I'm playing today.
I'm picking this week,
So they might think I'll just do it. I'm just not feeling it today. I'm going to spin and do the bare minimum. Whereas I don't think Slot's going to be like that with most of the team. The only player he looks like he's favouring quite a bit, which is annoying, is Salah. That's the only one.
But if Salah plays like he did last night, then I have absolutely no problem with that.
No, but for me, it has to be more consistent. It can't just be one game. And most of the games, the rest of the games, is kind of been stat padding.
Yeah, I think Slot needs to be a bit more braver and take off Salah at certain times.
Take Salah off, man, because there's times he's obviously yesterday was great. He was up for the game, but I just think we got to remember as well his age. I don't think he's going to be able to do that mileage every week. I think he will slow down this season. He will still be influential, but if you look at the attacking players we got, we don't need to rely on him that much. As much as we usually did in the past. So I would like to see Slot's times when he's not playing well, take him off, because there's times Ekitike has been playing better than him and Gakpo, but Ekitike is the one being substituted. I'm like, why? Like, the game's not done, especially against Burnley. He was taken off. Verts actually played all right, and Ekitike, and he was taking these lot off. And I'm like, it's even yesterday as well, I think took Verts off. And I'm like, this game's not done. Why are you taking off? Obviously, we had Isak yesterday, but today, the Burnley game, it's like, why are you taking off the vocal point, the kind of person where something could happen? It's like, it's a bit frustrating.
I think regarding yesterday, though, with Salah, I think what we saw the best of Salah when Frimpong was on. And the reason for that is because he was allowed to come back more inside.
Yeah.
Salah against Burnley was so far wide, it was pointless him being on the pitch. And I think that comes down to tactics. If Frimpong last night, when he was on the pitch, first half, he was the wide man. Salah came inside. Look how good Salah was when he came inside into the box. Always. That's where he got his goal from. That's where he causing havoc. But when Bradley came on, it changed. Bradley were coming inside. Bradley at one point, me and Patricia were watching the watch along last night, and at one point Bradley were there, edge of the box, and then Salah out wide, and thought switch these two over. But Bradley out wide and Salah into the box. Why is one of our biggest goal threats over here and our right back, who's not a goal threat like Salah, in the box? That makes no sense. So I think whoever plays right back needs to be wide, and that's why I think Frimpong's key.
I think he'll use Frimpong more like that though, because of the speed as well. I think if you look at Frimpong, it was even benefiting Isak, that kind of link up. But I think it's because of that speed he has. I think he looks like I think he naturally just plays like that. Maybe at Bayer Leverkusen he might play like that because he was a wing back as well, where he just does the overlapping runs. So that for all we know, that may be an instruction. That might not even be an instruction. That might just be that's just normal to him. So if Slot's telling him to do that, he's probably thinking, I don't even need to adjust. That's a normal part of my game.
I think whoever plays right back, whether it be Bradley, Frimpong, Szoboszlai, okay, who plays right back? Maybe it's Arne Slot's assistant, Van Bronckhorst. But he plays right back. I don't care who plays there. Just make sure you're the wide man and Salah can come inside. That's what needs to happen. Because whoever plays on the left as well, they can come inside. That's why I thought that was going to happen this year with Frimpong. That's why I said we're going to overload the box this season. That's why I did. When we did the formation thing, the stream, I said this season, hopefully, if we've got Frimpong and Perkins on the wings, we're going to overload the box with wingers. They're not going to be wide anymore. They're going to come inside. And that's where I thought we saw the best of Salah for me personally. Should we go over a couple of news stories as well, some transfer news stories. Julian Alvarez. So a report came out earlier from Mirror, and then it was shut down quite quickly by Julian Alvarez's agent. So this is what the report said earlier. So Alvarez's representatives have insisted that Liverpool did submit a bid for the Atletico Madrid striker during the summer transfer window. But then in recent hours, Julian Alvarez's agent has said there was no official offers from Liverpool to sign Julian last season, and everything that has been said in regard is false. Last summer there were no offers because Atletico didn't want to sell the player, so negotiations didn't take place. I think there was talk about Alvarez obviously being maybe potentially a replacement for a swap deal for Núñez, but I always said in the reports in summer that Atletico Madrid want Núñez to add on to Alvarez. They want to play Núñez and Alvarez up front, so they're not looking to sell Alvarez. But do you think it's any of you two think is a player that could potentially come in the future, maybe next summer?
I certainly do, because like you said, we've built a really good squad now. We're gonna be trying to cherry pick top class players now, one maybe two a season, if that. We're not gonna be spending like we did this summer. So I think we're gonna have a lot. I'd love him to come. I love Alvarez. I think he's a top player. Play across the front for me. Some people don't like him on the wings, but I think he can play across the front line. And yeah, I think he'd be a good foil for Isak, to be honest, even. I really like him, top player.
We're looking at, obviously, Reece, we've been looking at Gakpo's performances this season, and they haven't really improved massively. At some point, he could potentially move on. Do you think Alvarez is a good replacement?
Are Liverpool not in talks right now to extend Gakpo's contract, or has that been done already?
Nothing's been said in recent months. There was talk about it.
No, we signed it a couple of weeks last week. Gakpo signed up. I saw the
Did he actually sign up fully? I know there was talk about it. I didn't see it fully.
I released it last week.
Sure, he signed a new contract. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Obviously that doesn't mean a player can't get moved on further down the line. That just means you can get more value for your asset. Maybe I don't think it would be Alvarez would look at to replace him.
He's more of a striker, and that's the issue. That's to look at a proper left wing, won't you?
That's what I was thinking. I think they would more look at a Rodrigo or what's his name? Who is it? We got offered from AC Milan, the winger.
Oh,
Leao.
I think they'll more look at potentially. I could be wrong, but I would have him in the squad because I think he's the type of player. He can play a few positions. He's got variety, good footballer. It's nice to have options. And I don't think he necessarily be up front. If he's up front, it might be an option of where you do the false 9, or he's more in the 10, or just off the striker kind of thing. So,
it's probably a player that we probably won't look at now. We also got Ekitike and Isak as your front man.
Yeah.
Pointless. Yeah. I think, like I said, Gakpo and Engamo, I think they're good options. Engamo and Gakpo are very, very good options. But yeah, I think Engamo needs to start playing a few more minutes now, maybe to keep Gakpo on his toes. Gakpo's still got it though. Gakpo's, is a brilliant player. Last season he was very, very important as winning the league. Very important indeed. I just don't want him to become predictable because Diaz got predictable. Diaz was easier to defend against last season than Gakpo, but Gakpo wasn't the predictable one last season. It was Diaz. But I don't want Gakpo to fall in that predictability.
I don't know. I think Gakpo showed signs last year. It's just his output in terms of goals, that was what was getting him out of jail. He was scoring a lot of important goals before he got injured. I think his game's always kind of been like that for me. Minus when he plays for the Netherlands, maybe, but for us, he always kind of cuts in on the right. From when he scored that, remember he scored his first proper goal when it was against United. He cut in that way. And obviously, when it works, it looks amazing. Obviously, when it doesn't work, then it looks predictable. It's just frustrating because he can go past his wing, like his fullback, in a 1v1. He's shown that. It's just maybe because he's not as comfortable on the left side. But I just think, for me, it's either you add more to your game, or you try and whatever it is you're doing now, you need to telegraph it better. Because Salah's quite predictable as well, but a lot of the time his things work. Obviously, as he's slowing down, sometimes when it's one of those things, when he has a really quiet game or he gets pocketed, you can see it's quite predictable. But when he's on form, like I was yesterday, he does quite predictable stuff, but you can't really stop him because when he's really up for the game and locked in, it's like, that's classic Salah, like Salah of old. That especially the second goal yesterday, where he kind of picked up the position, kind of thing. That's like classic Salah. So if you're not gonna add more to your game, I just think just make it to the point where the defender may know what you're gonna do, but they're not gonna be able to stop you. That's how I see it.
But do you not think someone's slot's not saying to him, go down your left hand side, show him in your left, just for a bit of variety in your game?
I think maybe I think Slot might not even be saying that because he probably thinks you should know. So it's either he is saying it or because I think if he is saying that and he's not doing it, I think he would have pulled him up about that because he strikes me as that type of manager. If he's giving you an instruction, and it's not about doing it perfect all the time, but if you're not even trying what I'm telling you to instruction, then there's a problem. I think he might just think you should know to do that, and he does it.
Yeah, as a player, if something's not working, you change it up a little bit yourself.
Yeah.
But I remember when we were playing football, I remember our coach used to always say, when you're playing the wings, you go left, you go right. So you always just put that in his mind that you can go left or right. There's always with Gakpo, he doesn't even go left, try to go left sometimes. So it's just that one-dimensional. You just got to do it once, and then the defender starts thinking about it. It changes. He doesn't know what to do. Doesn't do it. It's too predictable. I think. Like I said, I think Rio's got to start getting a bit more minutes. I would have taken Gakpo off earlier yesterday and given him more minutes. Giving Rio more minutes, to be honest.
When McAllister's fully fit, guys, do you think we could see Wirtz more on the left?
I think that's an option as well because you saw that yesterday. He moved Wirtz on.
Left,
I liked that as well because I've been waiting for this for the longest time. That bit of variety because he can play left as well. So I think that could be an option.
So it'd be like a Maka at 10, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch in midfield.
that might be the only way to get them all in, because we're thinking we have to play Maka. I think Maka's probably our best midfielder. I do love Szoboszlai, but for the energy, for his press, but Maka's just so underrated. He has to play if he's fit, I think.
So if you put Wirtz and Salah, them two can come inside anyway. They're going to naturally come inside and go into the box. Maka at 10, I think that's best out of Maka. And that midfield pivot of Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, I think that's the best midfield pivot we have in terms of balance.
I think it's nice to have all these options. That's what I'm excited about, to have the options. I think what I like though as well is that, say if you put Wirtz on the left or Ekitike on the left, Isak naturally goes out to the left. That's what you kind of saw. He was kind of coming out to the left as well. So you can even get that, even though Wirtz could be on the left or Ekitike, it doesn't mean they're going to stay there. So it looks like that's what it looks like they're playing. But you might see Isak come out to there, and then you see Ekitike swap with him, or you might see Wirtz drop and swap with him and Ekitike come out. So very, very exciting times, I think. Very.
Two small pieces of news just before we're going to talk a little bit about Champions League just for a little bit. Two small pieces of news. Curtis Jones is potentially returning to the Liverpool squad for the Merseyside derby on Saturday. That's good news. Getting some more depth into that squad, certainly midfield depth, which is fantastic. And also, there's actually concerns about Galatasaray's stadium, and seawater has been mixed into the grass, according to report by Lewis Steele. There are big concerns about the safety of the pitch at Galatasaray Rams Park ahead of Liverpool's trip to Istanbul later this month. Seawater has reportedly mixed into the grass irrigation system at the stadium, which could cause Slot some headache. What does it mean by Slot? I don't know. Anyway, so I presume obviously back down and play Galatasaray, which is in 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks. It's Southampton next week, and it's Galatasaray week after. I'm hoping to do sort of that. I don't understand the slot headache thing. But yeah, I do think that will be sorted, hopefully. It's a tough place to go. Galatasaray is going to be a hard game to play against away from home. It's going to be a tough week that week. Also, we've got Palace, we've got Galatasaray, we've got Chelsea, all away from home. Is there an international break in that as well somewhere?
In October, yeah, there's another international break.
I just wonder when about it is, though. Is it after the Chelsea game? Is it between Chelsea and Man United, I want to say?
I got to check.
So we've got Chelsea where they've got Man United at home the game after. Is it in between that? But we've got a tough week that week with Palace away, Galatasaray away, and Chelsea away. So 3 tough away games that week. But yeah, let's go to Champions League then, guys. So what? Overall, so Liverpool 3-2 win, fantastic. Who's impressed you this week in the Champions League? And it can't be Gravenberch or Szoboszlai. What about a team? Team. Who's impressed you?
It's a tough one.
So I'll go over the results for this week. So the impressive results. So obviously, Real Madrid got a 2-1 win from 1-0 down. Arsenal got a good win away to Bilbao. Inter Milan got a good away win to Ajax last night. Very good away win for them. PSG absolutely battered Atalanta 4-0 last night. Bayern Munich beat Chelsea 3-1. Got games tonight as well. The shocks this week. I won't say a shock because I think the Belgian league, I know Adam's saying here Union, but the Belgian league is very, very good. I think Belgian league right now is above the Dutch league. And it's never been above the Dutch league, but I think it's above the Dutch league. Union St. Gallen beat PSV away. Club Brugge earlier. You've seen the score. Club Brugge just beaten Monaco 4-1. I'm saying about the Belgian league, they've gone up a level. Copenhagen just drawn 2-2 against Bayer Leverkusen, unluckily, because they went 2-1 ahead in the 87th minute and they scored no own goal. So, Reece, who's impressed you this week?
Even though they lost, Marseille impressed me. I think they put in quite a good performance against Real Madrid. Real Madrid were lucky, as usual.
2 penalties.
But even that second one, that was not a penalty. For me, decisions like that is what's kind of making the game. It's like the game's gone kind of thing. Because the player fell, where's his arms meant to go? So he fell, and then his landing, obviously, his arm kind of landed. The ball was underneath him. So there's no way for me, any type of football, that's a penalty. But Real Madrid is at their ground, the pressure, the players, the white flags, these referees just like succumb to the pressure. It's just a bit frustrating there that you had VAR to look at that and overturn that, but they're not going to. I think they played quite a good game. They just should have maybe took one or two more of their chances.
Yeah, when they won the up, yeah.
They got a few good players there. Greenwood plays for them, a few other players. I can't remember who plays up front, but they had a decent account of themselves. It's just when they were on top, I thought
Aubameyang's up front for him.
Timothy
Weah's a good player.
Had one or two chances. Yeah, I think Aubameyang had a chance there. He was given what's the centre back's name? Who's for Real Madrid?
Hoyson.
No, the other centre back.
Militao.
Yeah, he was giving him all sorts of problems when he was battling with him. I think he had one chance there where it bounced off Militao, came to him, and then he was clean through, but he went near post where he should have went across the goal. And that was that. I think that might have been at 1-0 to Marseille, so it could have made it 2-0. So I think they put a good show in. I know Juventus and Dortmund had quite a crazy game. It's 4-4, and I think Juventus scored 2 goals in injury time. That game messed up my accumulator as well because I had Juventus. But you know what's funny? I had Juventus to win, but I put both to score. And then they came back, and then you're letting Dortmund go in front again. Whereas it's annoying because Dortmund are kind of like a hot and cold team. That's why I don't really try to bet on them because, as you can see, they always fumble. They don't really know how to see out the game. How can you concede 2 goals in injury time back to back? Mentality is just on the floor. Who's the other game?
PSG and Bayern got good results last night. Bayern beating Chelsea 3-1. PSG 4-0. Absolutely battered Atalanta.
Yeah, those games that like PSG, I expect them to win that. The Bayern game, fair play. They won, but I wouldn't call their game that. I wouldn't say they dominated Chelsea. I just think they took their chances when they had them. And Chelsea, because they've got 1 or 2 injuries at the back. For me, you got a problem there because you're not going to you're not going to come to the what's the name of their stadium? Bayern, the Allianz. You're not going to come there with Tosin and Chalobah at the back.
Back on it.
1, you're going to keep a clean sheet, and 2, you're going to come away with the win. I know Palmer bagged the goal, but yeah, they
got another goal disallowed, didn't they?
Who's
Arsenal got a good win, Daryl. Arsenal got a good win on Tuesday away to Bilbao.
I was just looking for the results now. I think probably Arsenal impressed me the most because it is a tough place to go in Spain. And it just shows their depth in squad now that they, as they started, didn't play that well. Martinelli comes on and scores the first goal. So, they probably impressed me the most out of the teams. Not the most, but that impressed me a little bit, I suppose.
I think
Union's played that well.
I think Union's result, big result in PSV.
Yeah, that was a shocking result, that one.
Yeah, that one messed up my accumulator as well. Because guys,
don't listen to Reece when it comes to tips.
No, you wouldn't have. If you were betting that, you wouldn't have picked them to beat PSG at PSG's ground. You wouldn't have. There's no way. It was at PSV. They're at home.
I just did PSV to score, mate. That's all I needed them to do.
You're not a risk taker. You're one of them, the safe bets. But yeah, if it was away from home, I would have picked them. I would have been like, okay, maybe. But if you ask most people, they wouldn't have thought Union was going to go there and comfortably beat PSV. PSV.
I said the Belgian league is doing.
It's doing all right. No, even still, man, I'm sorry. That's shocking play from that shocking performance from PSV. Obviously, Union, they done their thing. I didn't get to see the highlights, but just from the result, that's a massive result.
Karabakh beating Benfica away to the point where Benfica just got Jose Mourinho through the door. Since then, Karabakh got a big result there.
Wasn't they 2 up though, Benfica?
Yeah, they're 2 up as well. Yeah, 2 up. Threw the game away.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
disgusting.
Tonight's games left to play. Let's have a little guess of tonight's games. Then let's test your ball knowledge, you two. Let's test your ball knowledge. Just correct scores on all tonight's games. Also, we missed Club Brugge, Monaco, which 4-1, Copenhagen, Leverkusen 2-2. So it's correct scores. Let's see who gets the closest tonight.
I'm going
Galatasaray first.
Either 2-0 to Frankfurt or
you only have 1 score. Don't either nothing. You give me 1 score only. This is a competition between us for you.
All right.
No pressure.
Well, who do you think? You're in on this as well. Go on.
Frankfurt. I think Frankfurt 2-0.
Okay.
I'm going Galatasaray 2-1.
I'm going. I've got two results in my mind. I think I'm gonna go 2-2. I'm gonna go.
Daryl.
I've gone Galatasaray 2-1, same as Adam. I called that just a little while ago. Strong.
City Napoli.
I'm going 3-1 City.
I'm going 3-1 City as well.
Yeah. I think Napoli will score though. I just think City, their defense can be got at. So Napoli will score.
2-1 City. I'm gonna go.
Haaland score. I wouldn't be surprised if Haaland gets a brace. He's definitely getting one.
Yeah, he's feeling it now this season, isn't he? Newcastle Barca.
Oof. You know what it is? Either way, I think it goes either way, 3-2. But I'm gonna go Barca 3-2. I think there will be goals in this game. I think both teams will definitely score, but I'm gonna go Barca 3-2. But I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle won 3-2 because they're at home as well.
Good shout.
Yeah, I'm gonna go both teams to score. I'm gonna go Barca 3-1.
I'm thinking 3-1. You know, Adam's got 2-1 Napoli. Canal's got all away teams. I'm either going to go 3-0 or 3-1 Barca. I'm going to go. Newcastle got a score at home, haven't they? 3-1. I will go 3-1, same as Daryl for that one. Sporting Cairo.
Barcelona.
I think Barcelona could win 3-0. You know, I think that good. Adam's gone 3-0 Barcelona. I think Newcastle being at home. I
don't see them getting a clean sheet there. I think Barca, even though they be winning, they be conceding goals as well. I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think. I just think coming there, playing at Newcastle, their crowd's going to be up for it.
It's tough. It's tough place to go, but I think Newcastle are in for a shock tonight.
The physical battle as well. I want to see if Barca can deal with that physical battle because you're not going to get that time to be passing the ball around. You're going to get clattered.
Jolenta's going to clatter you. That's right.
Whoever's there in the field, Bruno Guimaraes, they're going to. They're going to wake up. You're in Newcastle, bro. You're not in beautiful Spain today. You better be moving that ball quicker.
Also got them small players as well, the small diminutive players. Pedri.
Last one, guys. Sporting Lisbon against Kairat.
I said Sporting Lisbon to win still.
What score? I'm going to go 3-0 Sporting.
2-0.
Yeah. Where are you going for?
That knocked out Celtic, isn't it?
Yeah, Kairat. Yeah. I think Trincao will score as well for Sporting. They ain't got Yokos anymore, have they? So Trincao's the one to watch. What are you two going for?
Oh, I said Sporting 2-0.
What score?
2-0.
I'm going 3-1 Sporting.
3-1. Adam's gone 2-2. Big shock over there. Kairat getting a point. That'd be a big point for them in their first time in the Champions League. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching, guys. Make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. It helps out massively. And have a great night, guys. Enjoy the rest of the Champions League tonight. And we'll speak to you all tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Myself and Enzo on tomorrow night at 7. So join us for that.